Apple has done it again. In 2025, the Apple TV 4K receives the tvOS 26 update. At first glance, it might seem like just another software refresh, another round of bug fixes, another minor polish. But when you look closer, you realize this update is different. This is not about small changes. This is about Apple redefining what the living room experience can be. The Apple TV has always been positioned as more than a streaming box. It was never meant to compete with the cheapest sticks or dongles. Instead, it was designed to be the centerpiece of your entertainment setup. With tvOS 26, Apple is leaning harder into that vision than ever before. This update transforms the Apple TV into something bigger, something smarter, something that feels alive. The first thing you notice is design. Apple calls it the liquid glass design language. If you've been following iOS 19, iPadOS 19, or macOS Sequoia, you've already seen hints of it. Translucent panels, floating icons, layered depth, animations that feel fluid, almost organic. Now, Apple has brought that same philosophy to the biggest screen in your home. The difference is immediate. The control center no longer feels cluttered. It looks clean, familiar, almost identical to what you see on your iPhone. FaceTime has been redesigned to mirror iOS, so when you take a call on your TV, it feels natural. Menus fade away faster, leaving your movie or show to dominate the screen without distraction. On paper, these sound like small touches, but in practice, they change the entire mood. Apple's goal here is simple: make the interface disappear. Great design, they've always said, is invisible. You don't notice it because you're too busy enjoying the content. That's exactly what tvOS 26 delivers. It blends into the background so your attention stays on the story you're watching, the song you're singing, or the game you're playing. And this is not just about looks. It's about unity. For years, Apple has worked to make its devices feel like parts of one whole. Your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac, and now your Apple TV all share the same design DNA. Moving from one device to another feels seamless, like stepping from one room of the same house into another. That consistency matters. It builds comfort. It builds trust. Moving beyond design, let's talk about one of the most frustrating issues Apple TV users have dealt with for years: audio. If you've ever tried using external speakers, you know the struggle. Maybe you had two HomePods behind your couch. Maybe you had a Sonos system set up for surround sound. Every time your Apple TV woke up, you had to manually reconnect your speakers. Over and over. It was annoying. It broke the flow. With tvOS 26, that problem is gone. Apple has added a new setting under Video and Audio that lets you choose your preferred AirPlay speakers as the default. Set it once and the Apple TV will always remember. No more reconnecting. No more digging through menus. From now on, your premium audio setup just works. This might sound like a small fix, but it's not. It's transformative. It means the Apple TV is no longer just a video streamer. It's now a true home theater hub. You can anchor Dolby Atmos setups, stereo pairs, or full surround systems without friction. Every time you press play, you get cinema-grade sound with zero effort. And this is where Apple gains a real edge over competitors. Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Chromecast, they all offer streaming. But none of them integrate seamlessly with high-end multi-speaker systems the way Apple now does. For families who care about premium audio, for audiophiles who have invested in expensive speakers, this change alone makes the Apple TV worth it. But Apple didn't stop there. Music has always been part of Apple's DNA. And with tvOS 26, Apple Music Sing gets its biggest upgrade yet. The feature already existed, but it was basic. A karaoke mode where lyrics appeared on screen. Fun but limited. Now it's something else entirely. With the new update, you can pair your iPhone as a microphone. All it takes is scanning a QR code on your TV. Instantly, your phone transforms into a wireless mic. It captures your voice. It lets you adjust vocals. It even gives you control over playback and song selection. No extra hardware. No complicated setup. Just tap and sing. Apple has even made it easier to access. There's now a dedicated Sing icon right on the home screen. No more digging through menus. And once you open it, you'll find curated playlists across genres. Pop rock, Disney classics, party anthems. Whatever your mood, there's something to get the group going. On top of that, Apple has added a visualizer. As the music plays, your TV screen comes alive with pulsing, shifting animations that move with the beat. Your living room transforms into a concert stage or a dance floor. Whether you're belting out throwbacks with friends, singing along with your kids, or just having fun solo, the experience feels alive. This is Apple's strategy in action. They don't want the Apple TV to be passive. They want it to be interactive, social, something that creates memories, not just streamed shows. With tvOS 26, karaoke night becomes something anyone can enjoy. Another highlight of this update is the evolution of Apple's iconic screensavers. Since the very first Apple TV, aerial views have been one of the device's hidden gems. Floating shots of cities, slow pans of landscapes, views of Earth from space. They turned idle screens into works of art. Now Apple is taking it further. tvOS 26 adds breathtaking new footage from India, Goa's coastline, Kerala's lush greenery, cultural landmarks that showcase history and beauty. The global collection expands, giving you more windows into the world. But the real breakthrough is personalization. For the first time ever, you can choose which categories of screensavers you want. Love landscapes but dislike underwater shots? Hide them. Prefer specific clips? Filter down to only those. Your Apple TV can now reflect your taste, turning your screen into a curated gallery. This may seem small, but it changes how people use the Apple TV. Many households leave their TVs on in the background, during meals, gatherings, or even just to set a mood. With personalized screensavers, your Apple TV becomes an ambient art display. It's not wasted pixels anymore. It's a living canvas tailored to you. Apple's attention to detail here shows their philosophy. Every little element is designed not to feel generic but personal, not to feel cold but human. That's why people keep coming back to Apple products. They make technology feel like it belongs to you. So when you put this all together, the liquid glass design, the simplified interface, the new audio defaults, the upgraded karaoke, and the personalized screensavers, you start to see the bigger picture. tvOS 26 is not a small update. It's a transformation. It takes Apple TV from being just another box under your television to being the centerpiece of your home. And the most powerful part? It's free. If you already own an Apple TV 4K or even the HD version, you can download tvOS 26 today. No extra cost. No new hardware required. Apple is giving you a massive leap forward without asking for more money. That's value. That's confidence. We've already explored how tvOS 26 reshapes the Apple TV experience with its new design, audio improvements, and entertainment upgrades. But that was only the beginning. Section 2 is where we dig deeper. Because beneath the headlines, Apple has introduced subtle but powerful changes that quietly redefine how you use your Apple TV every single day. Let's start with profiles. Profiles have existed on Apple TV for a while, but let's be honest. They were clunky. Switching between users meant going through menus, signing into apps again, entering passwords, and often apps didn't even recognize who was logged in. The result was a mess. You'd open Netflix only to see kids' shows in your recommendations. You'd check Apple Arcade and find high scores from your roommate cluttering your list. It never felt truly personal. tvOS 26 changes that completely. Now, when you wake your Apple TV, you get a clean, simple profile screen. Each family member can select their profile instantly. But the real magic happens behind the scenes. Developers can now link apps directly to Apple IDs. That means when you switch to your profile, every app connected to your account follows along. Streaming services, Apple Music playlists, Apple Arcade games, everything aligns with your identity. No more mixed recommendations. No more confusion. Your Apple TV now feels like your Apple TV, even if you share it with others. For single-user households, you can bypass the profile screen entirely. But for families or roommates, this change is huge. It eliminates friction and makes switching as natural as picking up your iPhone. This is Apple's philosophy at its best. Simplicity. Why on the surface, deep integration underneath? They take a problem people often accept as just the way it is and quietly solve it. And when you experience it, you realize how much better things can be. Now let's talk about Siri. For years, Siri on Apple TV lagged behind the versions on iPhone and iPad. It felt slower, less consistent, and sometimes limited. With tvOS 26, Apple has fixed that. Siri on Apple TV is now aligned with the iOS and iPadOS versions. That means faster responses, more accurate search results, and smarter context. Ask Siri to find a show, and it pulls results across apps instantly. Ask for the weather and it appears just like on your phone. Ask it to control smart home devices, and it responds immediately. This consistency matters. It makes Siri feel reliable again. It makes voice commands a natural part of using your Apple TV, not a gimmick. Speaking of smart homes, tvOS 26 also strengthens Apple TV's role as a hub. With tighter Matter support, your Apple TV can now control more smart devices than ever. Lights, locks, thermostats, they all integrate smoothly. This means your Apple TV isn't just for entertainment. It's the brain of your living room. You can dim the lights before a movie, lock the doors without leaving the couch, adjust the temperature mid-game, all from one central device. This is part of Apple's larger ecosystem strategy. Each product supports the other. Your HomePod plays audio. Your iPhone acts as a remote. Your Apple TV serves as the hub. Together, they create an experience that no single gadget could deliver on its own. But what makes tvOS 26 truly impressive is how even the smallest improvements add up. Let's look at some of these quiet upgrades. One is responsiveness. Menus load faster. Apps launch quicker. Animations feel smoother. Apple has optimized the software so even older Apple TVs feel snappier. You don't notice it at first, but over time it makes a difference. No one likes waiting. With tvOS 26, you rarely have to. Another is stability. Previous versions sometimes had glitches, crashes, freezing apps, or settings that didn't stick. With this update, reliability is the focus. Feels solid. Feels finished. That's the kind of polish people expect from Apple. And then there's consistency. With the new liquid glass design language, tvOS now mirrors iOS and macOS more closely than ever. Notifications look familiar. Control Center looks identical. Settings menus feel unified. This makes it easier for users to move between devices. You don't have to relearn layouts. You just know how things work. Taken together, these subtle improvements create a sense of harmony. Everything feels part of the same ecosystem. And that's Apple's secret weapon. Competitors can match individual features, but they can't match the feeling of an integrated whole.